Here's a wild thought for you. What if not being able to picture things in your head wasn't a weakness, but actually a kind of superpower? We're going to explore this really unique way of thinking that, honestly, in our super tech-driven world, might just be an evolutionary advantage. Go on, seriously, try it with me right now. Close your eyes. What do you see? For a lot of us, maybe a shiny red sports car pops into your head, the sun glinting off the hood. Maybe you can see the brand, the model, even the little details on the hubcaps. You can kind of mentally walk around it, right? But what if, when you closed your eyes, you saw, well, nothing, just darkness, a total blank? You know what a car is. You could describe it, list all its parts, but you just can't see it in your mind. This isn't just some hypothetical question. For a surprising number of people, this is their everyday reality. So this isn't just some random quirk. It's a really distinct way the brain can be wired, and it has a name. It fundamentally changes how some of the most logical minds out there engage with the world. The term for this is aphantasia. It's pretty cool. It comes from the Greek words a, which means without, and phantasia, which means imagination. But let's be super clear. This is not a disorder. It's just a different flavor of human experience, the experience of navigating the world without that inner movie screen. And this chart really gets to the heart of the difference. A visual thinker, well, they might see a solution to a problem, kind of playing it out like a movie in their head. But someone with aphantasia, they work conceptually. They don't see the answer, they know the answer. It's all about abstract connections and a really deep grasp of the underlying system. Think of it like an architect who can't picture the finished building, but they know, really know, every single structural load, every electrical pathway, and the entire plumbing network that makes it all work. So you might be wondering, how does a mind that doesn't make pictures process really complex information? Well, it turns out it's a lot like looking at a page of squiggles and making sense of it. This quote just nails it. Think about it. The letters on this screen are just meaningless squiggles until your brain decodes their pattern and turns them into words and ideas. The exact same thing is true for lines of computer code. For the aphantasic mind, both are just languages to be deciphered, not pictures to be visualized. It's all about the logic, the syntax, the hidden structure that holds everything together. And this unique way of thinking, focusing on the structure instead of the visuals, actually becomes this incredible strength, especially when it comes to the world of computer programming. So if you can't visualize what the final website or app is going to look like, how in the world do you code it? Well, you treat the code itself as the reality. It isn't just a tool to build a picture, it's a living, breathing, logical system of rules and relationships. You're thinking in terms of functions and variables and data flow, not in pixels and page layouts. The whole process becomes this sort of elegant three-step dance. First, you identify the rules of the language you're working with. That's the syntax. Second, you start to recognize the patterns in how those rules are used to solve different problems. And finally, you use that deep understanding to break the code, to manipulate the system and get the result you want, all without ever needing to picture it in your head. And listen, this isn't just some niche skill for software developers. This way of thinking, this systematic, non-visual approach, is actually becoming essential for all of us as we try to figure out this new age of AI. The reality is, our world is increasingly run by these massive, complex, and totally non-visual systems. We're talking algorithms and artificial intelligences. To really get a handle on this world, we have to start thinking a little bit more like the systems that are powering it. These right here are the foundational skills for this new era. Pattern matching, that's the core principle that allows large language models to even work. Code breaking isn't just for software anymore, it's about figuring out how some black box AI is making its decisions. And abstract reasoning, that is absolutely key to designing, fixing, and just plain understanding the logic of these invisible systems that are changing our lives every single day. So if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. Aphantasia is not a lack of imagination. It's just a different kind of imagination, one that runs on logic, systems, and concepts instead of pictures. It's not a bug, it's a feature. It's a completely different and in many ways an incredibly powerful mental operating system. Which kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. We tend to value certain ways of thinking over others, but maybe we all have our own unique syntax of silence, some hidden cognitive superpower that's just waiting to be found and put to use. What's yours?